Yeah, I have half an hour before jumping in another call, guys. So I'll give briefly an update from my end. I've set up this server we acquired Aggroed to run the swap backend on. I'm testing the server performance, and when I'm feeling confident, I will point that server to this swap production environment. Besides that, I'm still working on this coupling of native tokens we already use for depositing and withdrawing on Hive Engine directly to DSwap website, where people just should skip that depositing step and can make the swap right away. I need a couple of weeks more for that. I'm being held up with some personal stuff, which takes up a lot of my time related to this COVID stuff, lockdown, and kids being at home and homeschooling, etc. So lots of things happening. I guess it sounds familiar to all of you guys. So I will basically need some more time to work on it, and hopefully I can come up with more updates in during the week or in our call for next week.
All right.
That's from my end.
Sweet. Eon, it sounds like your voice only, but do you want to give us an update? I'll talk over him a little bit while he gets a sec to do that. Oh, there he says, full replay in progress. Updates are being sent to Wizard Room. Finding discrepancies in the side chain, main node versus the Hive blocks, and figuring out how to resolve them in the replay code. So, yeah, Ian's really taken over the updating of the Hive Engine node for the peer-to-peer system, the witness payout system. I'm really stoked. He figured out, one of the main problems of the replay time is like the fetching blocks and just doing it one at a time. So he's gone through and figured out some fixes so that we're pre-fetching blocks, and that seems to reduce his time quite dramatically. He's saying the timeline witness peer-to-peer is ready to go, but first we should get the full replay working, then take a snapshot, then have everyone sync to it, and then deploy witness. So the syncing time takes like 2 days right now. So I think he started another replay. Maybe that was last night. So that could be as early, as Thursday. But he keeps finding some errors apparently. So we'll seems like we're gonna get the full replay going, and then we'll go back and fix it. But we might deploy even if it's not perfectly fixed. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I mean, this is like we're at the final stage of basically debugging, and so as a team of developers knows, debugging can be a super short process or a super long process. But that is a tricky part of this. Yeah, just use a snapshot to kick it off. I mean, that's not the end of the world to me. So if that's where we go, so be it. All right. Anything else you want to add to that? I mean, is this the kind of thing that next week you think that there's a shot that this is going, Eon? That's all. Do you think that it's possible that next week we're giving this a go? Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, well, Hive Engine 2.0 on the layer 2.0 sounds pretty freaking awesome. And again, just thank you for taking that on. Thanks for beasting it out, and hopefully sometime next week we'll be able to get a snapshot out here and get this thing going. All right, Cryptomancer, do you want to go kind of give us an update on where you're at and what you've been working on and how Ethereum integration is going?
All right, sure. So over the last week, I started taking a look at the Ethereum Bridge project again, kind of easing back into that and refamiliarizing myself with where it's at and what needs to be done next. So I prepared kind of a list of the various tasks for it. So let me paste that in here. All right, so here's where we're at. So before Christmas, I added ETH support to it and tested that worked. And then over the last week, I did some work around the deposit and withdrawal fees. Because originally, in the first version of the gateway code, it had fees taken on deposits, but not any fees on withdrawals. And you said you wanted that to be the other way around. So I turned off the deposit fee, and then I added some code to add a 1% withdrawal fee. So that's working and tested. And then while doing that, it occurred to me that I actually have to take a step back and rewrite some of the code. Because the withdrawal flow, I'm not really very satisfied with how it's working right now. So the way it works right now is that you actually have to do a Hive transaction, and you have to send some liquid Hive to the gateway account in order to cover the Ethereum network fees. And it uses the block trades API to see what the Ethereum, to see what the Hive equivalent of the Ethereum gas fee is going to be, and then it makes sure that you send that much liquid Hive. So, I mean, that works great, but it's kind of different from what we do, and it's a bit odd because it requires a user to have a liquid balance outside of Hive Engine, and it also makes handling the fees problematic, because if you're collecting network fees in terms of Hive, then there's a lot of market risk. Things are so volatile, you have to get those transferred back into Ethereum pretty quickly. So we would need some kind of script that would use block trades to convert into Ethereum or something. And I prefer not to have to mess with that. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take the whole module that streams Hive blocks and processes Hive transactions, and I'm going to rewrite that as something that will stream Hive Engine blocks and just look for swap.eth transactions. So that way it will function more like the tokens we have now. So you'll send a swap.eth to a gateway account with your Ethereum address in the memo, and then it will subtract the estimated gas fee from that swap.eth and burn it. And then it will subtract that 1% withdrawal fee and send it to a separate holding account to collect all the fees for us. And then what's left will actually be the real ETH that gets sent out to the destination account. So getting all that working is what I'm going to be doing over the next week or so. And that's the next major step. Then after that, there's some other things that need to be done. I need to add the fee cut for Harpagon so he gets his share. And then we need to start thinking about setting up a new server to host all the various gateway processes. And once that's set up, then we'll be able to actually run the thing and have it be available so that Lion can use it to work on the website integration. So that's about where we're at for now. It would be nice, Aggroed, if you could set up, if you could requisition a new server for this sometime in the next few days. Like something that has identical specs to the withdrawal server that we use now would be perfect. Okay, I'll check. I don't remember offhand, but just clone that server and we'll be good to go. All right. I'm guessing a couple weeks.
I was muted on my end. How long do you think that it's going to take to get the back end of this live?
I'm guessing a couple weeks, and that matches up nicely with Lion because he said he's going to be busy on some other stuff for a couple weeks too. So hopefully by the time I finish with that, he'll be in a position to start working on the website integration.
Yeah, look at all those witnesses. Isn't that fun? Verified rounds. How are we doing the voting? Is there voting right now for the witnesses? Worker bee steak. And there's a easy command I can type in to go vote for somebody. Yeah, voting action. And then how many votes do we get? Approved blank. Currently set to 30 votes. Okay. I should go approve some witnesses. Answer saying a couple of weeks. DSwap should be done hopefully in a couple of weeks. Number of witnesses. Do you guys have any thoughts on how many that should be? I think Carpagon originally proposed 7. I was pretty good with that, but if you all determine it should be different, we should consider that. Let's discuss offline. Okay. Yeah, this is recorded, so if that's something that should be private, that can be private that way. More than 5. All right. Well, I have no qualms with 7, and that was the original design. So maybe we start there, and we can see if that's. And you're running it on a $10 Privix VPS. That sounds awesome. I mean, that's where we want to be. Because then it's actually even with B where it is, like you can make money as a witness here. It's not a ton, but you're making money. That's great. Okay. Riaz, do you want to setting up the swap file? Well, Riaz, maybe you can make a post about it so that people can know how to do that and make it work on a cheap VPS. So let me go. I'm going to read what Riaz wrote, and then I'd love it if you could kind of go through this. But he's got auto login will now work for 90 days after a user logs in, and this is regarding. We're going to update to tribaldex.com. And so auto login is now working and will work for 90 days after a user logs in. KYC is done. Now this is not mandatory KYC. This is opt-in KYC. And the first most likely place for this to work is going to be bringing like a stable coin, stable dollar kind of tether thing here. So users can update their profile, upload selfie, passport, residency documents. Admins can verify each document separately and then grant KYC verifiable status, which is amazing. New NFT market properties are now live. The witness page is now live. That's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Charts now have zoom and pan. Great. One thing I've always lamented about our current charts is that like somebody puts in an extreme bid at the very low ends or the very high ends, and it always kills the charts. So if we can figure out how to change that, that would be great. TribalDex can now be put in a maintenance mode from an admin panel. That sounds very useful if problems are arising. Now tokens can be hidden from the admin panel as well, meaning that scam tokens can be shot down and fixed a few bugs that you have found. So, Riaz, what would you like to add to that, or how long? Hey, buddy, quiet, please. So, what else do you want to add to that kind of update? Nice job, by the way.
Yeah, hi, thanks. And I would like to thank Yon Rapt for getting up the witness thing live. It's actually working really well. I have been running a witness as well. In terms of TribalDex, last week have been very productive. Mostly the changes, or the majority of the changes I have done in the KYC, and the new market properties are also live. So the new NFT creation or existing NFTs can control their markets. Our witness page also was a request from users, so that is also live as well. I have taken your suggestions for the zoom and pen. Actually, I think Cryptomancer has suggested it, and also now what you have suggested, the extreme points, that will be. I will also try to fix that as well, and that's all from me. Oh, and the schedule of my work for this week will be, I have started on the getting on the contracts and started with the Scott bot, and Ion notified me that there will be some changes, but that won't affect me until like tomorrow or the next day, so I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah, getting those pages back up and running is great. Like the legal services, the second that Hive. So I know I'm weird in talking about TA on a call like this, but today is the first day that I've seen in like a year that the short-term price of Hive has now crossed over the mid-term price of Hive, and that is a bullish thing. That's the first bullish thing I've seen in a while for Hive prices. So pretty excited about that. And if what I've noticed is that when Hive prices are going up, people are more and more interested in getting tribes and things like that. So having all of our services ready. Is pretty handy. So looking forward to that going well.
Yep, I am planning on releasing Tribe and Scottbot within this week.
Okay, can we take Tribal Decks live to your version of the site?
Then we have to move the existing site to somewhere else because I am using that as a reference.
No, I was gonna shut that down and switch to yours.
Yep, that's possible, but I can do that from locally, so that will be fine. Yeah, we can move tribaldex.com to my version.
All right, after the call, let's get that done.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, that's exciting to me. I think I don't know. I think we're ready for that, and the timing for this thing is pretty good. Okay. And then we can review. I want to go through and check out like one or two people getting KYC verified, and
KYC needs some testing.
Okay, because if that's good,
maybe our team members can test by submitting demo documents.
Yeah, that'd be great. So let's get it live, and then we can ask for some help on that front. But right, I mean, if we can get if that's all functioning, and I know that you'll be responsive, then I'm willing to go get a stable coin up here, and it'll function like Tether, where somebody will send Hive Engine dollars, we'll mint a token, and we'll keep that dollar balance. And I think that would be pretty exciting to get that live. So just help. I think it'll help the whole ecosystem.
Do you want to do it with the CTC?
Do I want to do it with the CTC?
Yeah, then everything will be centrally controlled like the other tokens we have been issuing, like the swap.btc and swap.ltc etc.
Why don't we talk offline about that, of like the specific way it should function?
Sure, we can talk offline.
Yeah, I have some security concerns that I don't really want to go through on a public recorded call, but let's figure that out.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So that website's coming along, DSwap's coming along, the peer-to-peer is coming along, Ethereum's coming along. Bait, what are you working on? You're getting Hive Engine Classic as a as a mobile app?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And over the last couple of days, I actually entered into some issues, but I think Lion is actually helping with them for the most part. But let me just share some screens to let you know where I'm at overall. So I'll just share all of the screens, then I'll talk about the issue I'm facing. So basically, one of the issues I'm facing is regarding the endpoint. I don't actually see any valid any concise documentation rather. So I'm looking for the endpoint for deposit withdrawal, the market API, which Lion actually gave to me. Then the history API and token list /info. So if I can get any of those, I think I should have about 10 days ahead of me for the completion of the basic minimal features. So that's what I can't actually find that. I've been checking the Git repository. I haven't found any documentation as per the endpoints and how to implement the APIs. So I don't know if anyone can help with that. Okay, then I think this last one. So those are the screens available. So the screens basically the basic screens. So I just need the endpoint, and then if there's any documentation where I can be pointed to start implementing every other thing to get off the mock-up data. Hello, Riaz. I mean the endpoint, and if there's any documentation for the market, wallet, and history, basically. I haven't found any. I've searched all through the GitHub repository. I only found this. So I think that's the point at this point in time. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just letting. It looks like Eon and Riaz are responding, so I'll give them a second to respond. I agree with Cryptomancer that they look nice. Yeah, they can ping you offline.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll get to you, Riaz.
To get the balances and other details, you have to make post request to the RPC endpoints. I will help you in DM.
Sweet. All right. Honestly, there's just a ton happening, and I'm really excited about what we're doing here. Getting a mobile app for Hive Engine, I think, will just be fantastic and a wonderful start to just getting the mobile audience that is huge ready. Getting Ethereum in the capital markets for that here. For the people that are listening, that's step one. The next steps are to get Hive Engine tokens as wrapped tokens and getting wrapped Ethereum tokens as Hive Engine tokens. So excited to get the sort of the main Ethereum, but then all the kind of tokens on either one of those pathways. Getting the peer-to-peer working, maybe even as soon as next week. I know that's going to settle a lot of concerns for the Hive community. Getting DSwap up and running, both on the live production server, so it's not just kind of like freeware that we're using, but actual performance-ready hardware. That sounds pretty damn important. And then lastly, fixing the website so that it has all the functionality we need. I'm really excited to go get our collections going and making it so people can mint NFTs easily, both in terms of packs of NFTs and individual NFTs, and doing that through the website and getting the image uploads and having that whole thing work beautifully. So tons of really good parts happening. I'm impressed that the team is making as much progress as we are, and I'm really excited to go roll out all these pieces. So I'm going to stop the recording there.